The new Club World Cup is officially underway, and it's still not clear how much fans actually care about FIFA's latest experiment. To many, it feels like just another cash grab, a bloated tournament crammed into an already overcrowded calendar. But for Xabi Alonso's new look Real Madrid, it might just be the perfect place to start. Because after years of relying on vibes, legends, and last-second comebacks, Madrid are entering a new era. One where one of the most tactically sophisticated young coaches in the world is being handed the keys to a squad full of superstars and full of structural problems. But what exactly went so wrong in Ancelotti's final season? How will Xabi Alonso try to fix their biggest issues? And can this odd new tournament help Madrid find the structure they need to dominate next season? Real Madrid were nothing short of a disappointment last season. After lifting the Champions League in 2024, the arrival of Kylian Mbappé felt like the football equivalent of Kevin Durant joining that stacked Warriors team in 2017. But despite the ridiculous amount of talent in the squad, Madrid quickly ran into a long list of tactical and positional problems, most of which Carlo Ancelotti was never able to solve. Defensively, Madrid were a disaster from the start. Eder Militao and Dani Carvajal both suffered ACL tears early in the season, stripping the backline of experience and continuity. And with no fixed core, the center-back rotation became a revolving door, cycling through 11 different pairings in the league and with only one duo starting more than 5 matches together all season. Without a stable foundation behind them, the problems only escalated higher up the pitch. In the Champions League, Madrid ranked 21st out of the 24 knockout teams for high ball recoveries, managing only 6.2 per game. Where teams like PSG and Barcelona use coordinated pressure to suffocate build-up and gain territory, Madrid's efforts felt disjointed and almost non-existent. And nowhere was that made more clear than their quarter-final first-leg loss against Arsenal, where they recorded just 36 high-intensity pressures in the final third, the lowest total of the entire knockout stage. When you put all of that together, it's really no surprise that Los Blancos only managed to keep a clean sheet in 5 out of 28 matches in 2025. A stark contrast to the 25 clean sheets in 55 matches during the previous season. But the problems didn't stop at the back. Madrid's attack, on paper, looked like a cheat code, but instead of elevating each other, they kept getting in each other's way. We all know Mbappé and Vinicius both prefer playing on the left, and this repeatedly pushed the team into what felt like a zero-sum game. When Mbappé drifted wide, Vinicius was forced into central areas where he usually struggles. If the Brazilian stayed wide and Mbappé remained stagnant in the middle, Bellingham's space to crash into the box disappeared, which is arguably his most valuable trait. This forced Jude to adapt to a completely different role than the one he had found so much success in during the previous season, dropping deeper in order to stay involved and working hard to make up for the lack of defensive effort from the others. In the Champions League alone, Bellingham recorded 639 high-intensity pressures, which is over 100 more than Vinicius and nearly double Mbappé's total of 320. That level of defensive involvement is a big reason why his goal-scoring output went from 24 goals to just 13 this season, despite playing 11 more games. And we haven't even mentioned Rodrigo, who was glued to the right wing all season, where he's never looked quite at home either. Overall, it was clear Madrid simply did not have the right tactical clarity nor the chemistry to take full advantage of their elite squad. They lost all 4 meetings with Barcelona, conceding 16 goals and scoring just 7. They lost in the Copa del Rey final. And against Arsenal in the Champions League, it felt like they never even had a chance. And that's exactly why they're bringing in Xabi Alonso, Champions League winner and club legend, but also one of the most exciting tactical minds in the game today. During his time at Bayer Leverkusen, Alonso took a team sitting 17th in the Bundesliga and quite literally turned them into invincibles. Within 18 months, they ended Bayern's 11-year title run, won the league, and became one of the most tactically coherent teams in Europe. As a young coach, his system still saw some fluctuations, but the main principles stayed constant: control, compactness, and fluid attacking rotations. And now he's hoping to bring that same clarity to a Real Madrid side that has lacked it for years. Oh, and real quick guys, with summer in full swing, this is the perfect time for you to refresh your football wardrobe. If you like football kits, check out our friends at MrShirt.com. They have mystery kits from all over the world, and if you use our link in the description, you'll get 10% off your next shirt. It helps support the channel, and you might just end up with something special. Now back to the video. His system, usually built around a back 3, will likely solve multiple issues for Real Madrid with and without the ball. It's a formation that provides more angles in build-up, better coverage in wide areas, and more bodies in the midfield. Instead of asking wide attackers to defend like wingbacks, Alonso likes to use actual wingbacks and wide center-backs to close those spaces. And now with Dani Carvajal returning from injury and Dean Housen joining the squad, he has the pieces he needs to apply that at Madrid. Another constant in Alonso's preferred setups is the double pivot. Whether he fields a 3-4-2-1, 3-2-4-1, or even a hybrid back four, the pivot is always there. Sometimes it's traditional, with two pure midfielders stationed deep. Other times it's more adaptive, such as with a wingback like Grimaldo sliding into midfield. And this is actually one creative way Alexander-Arnold could fit in. As a right wingback, he wouldn't just hug the touchline. He could drift into the midfield and act both as an outlet and as a playmaker. Xavi also likes to employ a metronome-type player in the double pivot, someone who can control the tempo, keep the ball moving, and provide a reliable option under pressure. At Leverkusen, that player was Granit Xhaka, not exactly the first name you'd expect to lead a title-winning team in passing volume. But under Alonso, Xhaka transformed into an entirely different player. He averaged over 102 passes per 90 in 2023-2024, the fourth highest mark of any player in Europe's top 5 leagues over the past 5 years, and that's including Kroos's best season in 2023. Now with Kroos gone, Alonso will need to find his new conductor in Madrid. It definitely won't be easy, but he does have other talented players in his squad who he can try to shape in his image, much like he did with Xhaka. Ceballos, Camavinga, and especially Arda Güler are all candidates to potentially inherit that role. Alongside the structural tweaks at the back and a more defined midfield setup, one of the biggest shifts we're likely to see under Alonso will be in how Madrid defend from the front. And that's because a synchronized full team press is a non-negotiable in any of his systems. At Leverkusen, his squad went from bottom of the Bundesliga in final third recoveries to first in the entire league in just 1 year. And Xavi clearly knows how crucial that is at this level. In a press conference before Madrid's opener on Wednesday, he stated that the team has 11 individuals who need to work together and that pressing as a unit is decisive. But getting that buy-in at Madrid won't be easy. The front line is packed with stars, not workhorses. If Mbappe, Vinicius, and Bellingham don't commit to the press, Alonso's structure will fall apart before it even begins. In their 1-1 draw with Al Hilal 2 days ago, we witnessed just how fragile Madrid still is. Their shape was technically a 4-3-3, but in possession, Trent and Ferran took turns tucking inside, creating a back three and overloading the midfield. Hausen looked smooth on the ball, and Arda Güler added a real spark off the bench. But the team's press still looked disjointed, and the defense still shaky, especially on the left, where Fran Garcia looked overwhelmed. Without Mbappe, Madrid's attack also lacked punch. Bellingham played higher, right behind Castilla striker Gonzalo Garcia, but Madrid still struggled to create consistent chances, and Vinicius Jr. looked off for them all game. There were still some bright spots, particularly in transition, where they still looked deadly. But overall, it felt like a team that's still learning how to play together. And that's the point, because this Club World Cup might not carry the weight of a Champions League final. But for Alonso, it's still a chance to experiment, to lay foundations, and to figure out what works and what doesn't. There's no such thing as a soft launch at Real Madrid. If he can get his team pressing as a unit, commanding the middle, and building from a defined structure, then with the talent he has, the rest might just take care of itself. But if he can't, the Club World Cup will only be the beginning of a very steep learning curve. As always, thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed our analysis, and subscribe for more football content just like this.